I'm feeling here more welcome when I was feeling in Russia.
Meet Alyona. She is from Russia, from Siberia. She lived for a year in China and then in France, and now she has been living for almost 3 years in Serbia. Here she works part-time as an English teacher and rental agent. She shared whether rent prices in Belgrade will ever go down, what the biggest differences between Russians and Serbs are, and what it's like to date a Serb as a Russian woman. Enjoy!
Zašto voliš Srbiju?
Ljudi. Ljudi su mnogo dobri. I to je najljepša stvar. Ima mnogo srpskih drugače. Oni su kao ljudi iz Sibirije. Oni imaju neku komunikaciju, želju za društvo i mogu da pomognem za svaku stvar, svaku problem koji tu imaš.
When you came to Serbia, what was your expectation and what was the reality?
I had no expectation because I never been here. So I came and I was really open to everything. And I made friends instantly, very good people. And they all in love with Russia. They know a lot of our history. They know about Romanov family, for example. And they know it at the same level as me. And I studied history for 10 years in my life. And I was so impressed, and I'm still impressed now. So they know everything. They follow our news. They know literature, and I was really surprised because they always talk about Dostoevsky, they talk about Chekhov, they talk about Tolstoy. They know everything. A lot of them, they speak Russian language. I have a neighbor who is my friend, and she speaks Russian, and she loves it. And they told me specifically why they love us, because we always help them in wars, and because it was a wave of white Russian immigration after the First World War in Russia. And after the revolution, so a lot of Russians, they came here to live, and they were educated people. So they basically built all the city center. And you know, when you go to Dorchol and you see all the beautiful buildings, you know that Russian people built there. They opened churches, they opened schools, opened sports centers, and they lived in Vojvodina, which is like northern part of the country. A lot of them actually, in Novi Sad, in Sremski Karlovci. So they love us for that. I'm feeling here more welcome when I was feeling in Russia. Because when you go to Moscow, and I lived for 1 year there, everyone runs around, you know, because its capital is huge, everyone is occupied with work. Here, everything is slow, everyone has time for you. And okay, you're Russian, and you're gonna be beloved.
Did you have some kind of cultural shocks when you first came to Serbia?
The food is great, but also it was funny because they did not like what I made for local people. They always asked me to stop putting vegetables everywhere. They were like, salad is for decoration, where is meat? Like cutlet, like beef patties, they are great. Can you make something more like this, you know, five different meat dishes? It would be great. What is this boiled vegetable? Why? Why do you boil carrots? So it was pretty different from Russia, and I told them, okay, I'm from a cold place. We do it because we have to survive the winter. We should get vitamins and stuff. And they were like, no, in winter here we just eat more meat because it's cold. You don't understand the concept. So they just meat and meat. Food quality here is great. But you know, it's strange because I'm not used to these dishes. And for example, in the school that I work, we order catering, and they also bring the same food for kids. So they bring like this piece of meat of 200 grams every lunch, and then some kind of mashed potatoes, and then soup, and then salad. And Russian kids, they're in shock because they're like, that's for me? Look at this, it's bigger than my head. Yes, because you're a kid, you should eat well. It's a thing here. And also they drink coffee all the time, and I'm more of a tea person, but also I adjusted to that. So now I also drink coffee every day, 5 times a day.
So you switched from tea to coffee. Was it difficult for you?
It came naturally, because my friends, they always ask me to go. When they want to meet you and talk, they say like, okay, ajde, idemo na kafu. It means like, let's go have coffee. So, and the teas here, they call infusions tea, which is not true, because when you take chamomile, that's not tea, that's not a tea leaf, but they still call it tea. So they would just give me a tea bag and then bring honey and lemon and ask if I'm sick, and they ask me every day if I'm sick because I drink tea at cafes. And sometimes I was like, okay, domaća kafa, I'll take coffee now.
You've been dating a Serbian guy.
I've been living with a Serbian guy.
How it is to date a Serbian guy from your point of view?
These people are very traditional. So they still have this like man and woman, and I felt really protected. It was great. He's a really good person, but the problem is that they don't make enough money to afford good life here. A lot of young people, they feel insecure and they feel like they cannot afford a family. So my ex-boyfriend, he worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, and it was not still enough. And me, because I work with Russian people, I made more money. So for him it was also kind of, it's not supposed to be like that. They don't accept that because they're traditional people. And what else? They really appreciate family, but also friends. I think it's equal here. So family and friends, that's the most important things in life. I have a feeling that in Russia, that's more like family should be in the first place, and then friends, and then all the other people. But here, they always ask like, oh, what about friends? How many friends you have? Do you see them often? Okay, good.
What do you think the biggest difference between Russia, Russian people, and Serbia, Serbian people?
The difference that I think that the Serbian people, they are friendly, and Russian people, they don't want to bother the others, so they are pretty reserved. Russian, they are trying to be fashionable and modern. So Serbian people, they are religious, or they are believers, or both. But I think 90% of population, and they are not ashamed to say that. And I think in Russia, when you say, oh, I go to church, now it would sound kind of strange, so people just don't go, or they don't admit they go. And the same thing, for example, in France, you go for a service, but you never say this because your friends will judge you, like, oh, this person is not educated, he still believes in these stories. And here, people like professors, people of science, they still believe in God, and they say it, and they have these religious things, like they have Christmas, they have Easter, both are very big. They gather with their family and friends, celebrate. They don't work. They have Slava, which is day of the saint of the family, and they have a day off for that. So it's written in the Serbian law. They don't go and work.
Have you witnessed Slava?
Yes.
What was your impression?
It's a nice time. It's like, I think Christmas used to be in Russia. So first you should prepare, but also it can be 2 different types of Slava. Like one that's for everyone. You call your friends, you call your neighbors, everyone comes, it's a huge party. So people, they come to your house from morning till late night, and sometimes it's 2 or 3 days. And there is just family Slava, so that's just your relatives. And you spend a day and you do nothing basically. You eat, you have coffee, you smoke, you talk, you watch TV, you do it over and over again. And it's very nice, but preparation goes a week ahead that. People, they actually go and buy food and prepare everything. They are very stressed because they're like, we should present our best. It's the most important day of the year. Slava is the most important thing. And when you meet a Serbian person, you're like, oh, when is your Slava? It's a thing to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also that's like heritage, because there is only one family member who can celebrate Slava. So it goes from father to the son. But if you have 2 sons, you can divide it, because for most of the saints, that's winter Slava and summer Slava. So your older son gets winter Slava because it's more honorable and important, and your younger son gets summer Slava, which is also okay, but it's not the season, because also they have Slava season. And when you go to a house that celebrates this, normally you bring a bottle of alcohol, of rakia or wine, and it's a special present bags. So when season starts, yes, you go to supermarket, you buy this, and you're like, srećna slava, sve najbolje, biti živi zdravi. And when it happens at work, it's like third of the school doesn't appear at work. And people know it, and they're like, yeah, but it's family time, and you cannot make them, and you don't want to make them come. And then next day they come and they bring sweets, sometimes they bring meat or something. So it's a feast everyone should enjoy.
Yeah.
And pray for them.
Koji će biti tvoji savjeti za Rusa koji uči srpski sada? Kako da naučimo srpski brzo?
Pa samo idite na kafu sa nekim Srbinom, pričajte nešto, nađite društvo i to je to.
A koja je tvoja najomiljena reč na srpskom jeziku?
Volim kao on je zove mali stvari, kao sobica, cigaretica, ćevapčići, znači nešto mala, to može da bude sa ica. To je vrlo smešno, volim to.
Što je bilo najtežša stvar za tebe u srpskom jeziku?
To jezik je sličan sa ruskim, pa ja sam malo stidila se, zato što pravim greški i ja to znam, ali nemam želje i vremena za učenje gramatike. Znači, ja sam bila kao, pa dobro, hoću da pričam sad, da pričam sa svimi, pričam u tržnom centru, u kafiću, u parku, pa i to je dobro sad.
What is your favorite part of Belgrade? Where you like to walk, like to spend your time?
That's Vračar.
Vračar, definitely.
Vračar. Because of the beautiful architecture. I just love it and I can walk the streets endlessly.
Can you name some hidden gems in Vračar, some bars, restaurants?
There is a really beautiful restaurant, it's called Botako. I don't know if you heard about that. Those are two of them, one in Dorčol and one in Vračar. But I always go to Vračar because it's closer to my house. And I always hang down to Vračar in my free time. They're just a beautiful garden and they have all this antique furniture and they have best food. Pizza that's huge and it's pretty well made. It's not Italian style pizza, but still very good. And they're just really enjoyable to sit outside. And also there's a little cafes, like coffee shops. I think actually one bar is Russian, it's called Dusha.
Oh, yeah.
It's really pretty. And the other one, it's Priča bar, also really nice. But a lot of places. You just walk around and you can try a new place every day for the whole summer.
Do you like Russian places that are popping up now in Belgrade, like one after another?
I don't see the point of going there because I can make Russian food home. I'm a pretty good cook. So I don't know what to eat there. And also it feels a little bit weird because I'm in Belgrade, but these places, they're full of Russian people. And I'm in Serbia and I hear Russians talking in the corner. It gives me a wrong vibe, you know, this is a strange feeling. So I prefer to go to Serbian places.
So you don't miss here Russian food?
No.
What do you miss from Russia here?
I miss how easy we can buy medicine in Russia, because here if you get sick, you cannot ask for antibiotics. You know, like in Russia, in some places you still can go and be, I don't want to go to hospital, I'm feeling, I don't know, sore throat or I cough, please give me something. But here that will not work. They're like, oh no, we need prescription. Oh no, we cannot sell it to you. And also we have a lot of really good cheap medicine from USSR. They cost nothing, like peanuts, and here it doesn't exist. I miss good transport system, because in Moscow that's incredible. That's like city of the future. It's expanding day by day. And here, it doesn't matter what your map says, like Google Maps, or you can, send an SMS here and it will tell you, okay, your bus will come in 3 minutes, but it will never come. But it's for free, so not complaining really.
What is now happening on the rental market in Belgrade regarding the trends, regarding the prices?
3 years ago, all the prices were normal. Like, according to Serbian salaries, everything was okay. Then a lot of people came, and it was a disaster because it was too many people and not enough apartments. So it just finished, You could not find a flat because available flats did not exist anymore. It was the thing. So people, they started giving more money that flat actually costs. And that's how prices, they went up. Because Serbian people, they did not double it instantly. But when two families come in and one family is like, I agree on this, let's say 400, because it was normal price by the time. And the other family comes, it's like, I will give you 600 if you rent right now. Yes, of course, it's a deal. So that's how it happened. And then it stayed that way. And then maybe around a year ago, 8 months ago, prices, they got a little bit down because some of the Russians, they decided to return back to Russia. Some of them, they used Serbia as a transit country, so they went to Germany, etc. So, and then at this level, it kind of got frozen. So we have what we have. We have more flats available that we used to a year ago, but the prices are still pretty same. I used to rent apartment in Russia for 300 when I came.
It was autumn 2022.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was incredibly lucky because apartment next door cost 500 and 600. I lived there for almost a year, and then I found the other apartment, and now I pay 350. Oh, but that's because I used to date a Serbian guy, and he made all the deal. And also the owners, they were like, you know, you're a good person, we like you, we understand you will be good here. And they have an expression, chuvati stan. It means that you look after the flat, you know, you're like the keeper. And they really look for that. And they understood that I'm serious. I'm not this person who comes and after 2 months they have to find someone else. That's how I found it.
350, it's insanely cheap.
Yeah, and you know, after she rented an apartment for us, we lived with my ex-boyfriend a few months together, and then we broke up, so I started living alone. And she felt such a pity for me because I'm a single girl and I have to pay rent, so she offered me to find someone. She was like, you can find a girl and live with her, you can share this rent. I understand it's very difficult for you. And then she decided she will not raise this price for me because, you know, I live there, now I should pay alone. It was not when I was looking for the flat, so she actually did not raise my rent for 2 years already, and I'm so grateful for it. Mira, if you're watching, thank you.
It's interesting, you just told me this story, and I understood that I've noticed it not once, this feature of Serbs, that they can take your problem as their own problem.
Yeah.
What do you think? Am I right with this observation?
You're absolutely right, and they also feel pity. They have this understanding for people coming because they had a lot of wars. They did not have easy life. So always when they say, okay, I'm Russian, they're like, we understand your problem. We know you left your country for whatever reason, but you're abroad. And a lot of people here in Belgrade, they came, for example, from Sarajevo when it was a war. And they understand what it is to leave the house and just go and live in the other place, and it's not easy. So they have this kind of understanding and they want to help. It's a thing. They're really good people and they've been through a lot. They're kind and generous. I love Serbian people.
What are Serbs as landlords? Is there any specific regarding their behavior?
They want to be friends. Every time when I bring red, you know, like I sit for coffee, we talk for 1 hour, they share what happened in a month. Or they can call me and be like, oh, I've heard you're sick, you know, neighbors told me because they're my friends. I will bring you some fruit, you okay? Do you need any help? Do you want me to drive you? You know, they feeling like you are kind of part of a family because you live in their apartment, and they're great.
You have been living in China. What difference regarding living in China you experience here in Serbia?
China is a completely different world.
Yeah, it's like completely
It's
different
crazy.
universe.
But when I went to China, it was my real culture shock because I did it just after finishing university. Everything was super weird for me. Chinese people themselves, they have different values. So their dream is to have a really good job or marry a very, very rich person, get a car, beautiful apartment full of golden things and vases and everything, and that's it. And that's their life is successful. They're not very interested in history, in culture. Manager from my Chinese school, she used to study in Xi'an. You know, there is a place where they discovered Great Terracotta Army, and it's super famous. You know, they have a lot of tourists every year to go and see it. And I asked her, oh, what's your impression? Because you studied there, like, can you recommend me, you know, the best time to go? How many hours should I spend? And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard about that. So she spent 4 years there and she never heard about that. Chinese food is very different. They use a lot of spices, obviously. And they have a problem with desserts because when they freeze mashed beans, they call it ice cream. Or when they freeze like just syrup, just a little bit sugary water, they also call it ice cream. They call it popsicle, but it's just, you know, frozen water. Yeah, and they eat all the time. Everything is fried. The weather was very similar to my hometown because it was north of China. But also China is very polluted. You don't see it at first, but then you just feel a little bit weird, and then you know, health problems, they come one after another. And it happened to me, and that's why I actually left China, because work was great, my salary was great, they gave me an apartment, everyone was nice, but I just I just saw there's something wrong with my skin. It's just rough here and it's not going away, so I didn't know what's that. And then one morning I woke up and I just peeled my nails off.
Oh.
Yeah, like petals. You peel it, I don't know, like an orange. And I just looked at it, I don't have nails anymore. And I went to doctor and he said, probably you're in stress, I don't know. And that's it. There is no medical treatment, there's nothing for that.
You mentioned that Chinese people are thinking about money, are thinking about wealth, and they I would say they're very grounded people.
Yeah. But I think that because of the history, you know, they still have poverty and they did not live well for centuries. There's too many people there.
I wonder, could you call Serbs grounded people?
No.
Why?
They are very intellectual. They are very interested in politics, in history. Some of them, they travel, not a lot of them because they just love their country, or they don't have money, or they lived abroad and they don't want to go anymore. But they're philosophers and people you can discuss everything with. So no.
What could you tell about France? Did you like it?
France was great. I lived in the south. And it was really lucky because the town that I lived in is called Aix-en-Provence, and it used to be a capital of all the Provençal region. So it's in the south, and I spent nine months there and 2 months in Marseille, which is nearby. And these two places, two different worlds. I loved Aix-en-Provence. It's like little Paris. That's what people think about Paris and how they imagine that. That Paris used to be 150 years ago, 200 years ago.
What do you think about differences between French people and Serbian people? Are there any differences?
French people are not simple. They are not that friendly. They might be friendly, but they are polite, you know. They don't really want to be friends with you. They just don't want to offend. It's like social thing to be nice. And Serbian people, they really want to be your friends. They are deep. They are honest. I'm a fan of Serbian people, sorry, that's my favorite country.
Yeah, so your plans is to stay here for indefinite time?
I will see, but now it feels like my hometown was moved out from Russia, and the weather is better and the people are better, but it's pretty same, so it's the same size, the nature is similar, the people are better here, I'm feeling like I'm home.
Do you want to get Serbian citizenship?
No, because I should give up my Russian passport, and I don't want to do this.
You can marry Serb?
As an option, we will see.